Hi guys, so as entrepreneurs, we are always confronted with the need to either sell our idea or to pitch our businesses to investors or collaborators and potential partners. Today, I'm going to react to one of the business pitches on the Shark Tank show. So let's just delve right into it.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning.
Shout outs to CNBC for uploading this on YouTube, so they own all the rights to the original video. But let's see if we can learn some lessons from this pitch. I would be pausing the video intermittently just to share some of the lessons that I'm getting from this whole episode.
My name is Oliver Zach, and I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
And I'm Selom Agbitor from Accra, Ghana.
Today, we're seeking $500,000 in exchange for 5% of our tattoo aftercare company.
What the French
A work of art is meant to be treasured for years.
First of all, you see the reactions of the sharks, because I think they believe the valuation is a bit outrageous, but I mean, it's too early to pass any judgments. So let's
Even
continue.
Picasso and Da Vinci have had their paintings restored to their vibrant beginnings from years ago. So why not give that same love and care to the art on your body? That's right, we're talking about your tattoos.
Being permanent exhibitions on our bodies, tattoos require constant maintenance and upkeep to continue looking healthy. With that in mind, Mad Rabbit was formulated with 7 all-natural ingredients that keep tattoos looking vibrant and prevent ink discoloration.
As you can see, the skin immediately responds to application, restoring their...
So the first thing I noticed is that they went directly into stating what the problem is and also what the solution is, and that solution is essentially their product. So that's an interesting lesson here.
Back to the vibrant works of art they were meant to be.
Customers of all skin tones and types already swear by Mad Rabbit as being their go-to product to keep their old tattoos looking as good as new.
So again, we can also see the illustrations. So they try as much as possible to demonstrate the use of the product. And I think this is important. So they showing that video of customers or people applying their products on their tattoos makes it very relatable. And that visual aid is very much needed.
People have invested thousands of dollars and time into their tattoos. Mad Rabbit is here to help them last a lifetime.
So Sharks, who's ready to ink a deal?
So I have a question. Is there someone else out there with these type of ingredients that is a competitor of yours, would you say?
So worldwide there's about 12 or so tattoo aftercare competitors. We are the only all-natural one selling in the U.S. currently.
Are you having a lot of artists and people that everybody knows, or, is that the reason? I'm trying to find the reason, because there's something special about what you're doing, because your numbers clearly say it.
So again, one of the lessons that I have learned, also having been part of several pitches, is be honest. The first question that comes is, are there other people who are doing this kind of product or who are trying to solve the same problem? The guy answered honestly, right? Obviously, he's done his homework, and so he could tell that there are about 12 other competitors on the market.
So for example, a future NBA Hall of Famer from the Miami Heat actually reached out to us asking about the product, and he's been using it for the past month now.
So it's organic.
It's organic.
It's been organic, and you're not paying people to do these things?
We are paying some influencers.
Okay, so tell us about what you're doing there.
It depends on the influencer, right? So we could have a top 10 tattoo artist in the world that we say, okay, we need to pay $5,000 so he posts us. We also have influencers like these 2 models who, each have their own following. But the cool thing about tattoos is everyone has tattoos for different reasons. So each of these influencers kind of has their own sub-markets, if that makes sense.
Right.
I want to find out your...
It's really important to understand what your distribution is. A lot of times as entrepreneurs and as startup founders, we have the tendency to only focus on the product. So we have a fantastic product that solves the exact problem we wanted to solve. But the question is always that, how do you get your product from the point of production to the point of consumption. And that is where distribution comes in. So this question here is vital. The sharks are trying to find out how the products are leaving Mad Rabbit's factories or warehouses to the final consumers. And they've stated that there are some celebrities who use the product, and also they use influencers, paid influencers, to get the message out there. So this is very important. If you're an entrepreneur, always think about, how do I move my product from my factory or from my warehouse to the final consumer? And what are the distribution channels to do this?
Customer acquisition cost.
It's sitting between $6 to $7 per customer.
That's really good.
And so tell us about what you're doing for content creation, because what we're all trying to figure out is, what's the secret sauce?
I think our secret sauce is this community of tight-knit people that we've been able to build. We have
The question that is quite evasive most of the time is customer acquisition cost. So how much in dollar terms or in cedi terms or in euro terms does it cost you to acquire a customer to buy a product? So if you have a product that, example, sells for $5 or €5, and your customer acquisition cost is $6 or €6, already it means that the business is headed towards some form of self-destruction. Because if the cost of acquiring a customer far exceeds the cost or the price of your product, then you need to kind of reconsider your business model. And the follow-up question is that the sharks are also trying to find out how this success story is being achieved. They essentially said that they've built a community around the product. Your product is not enough to win in the marketplace. No matter how efficacious, how effective your product is, you need to sell the story behind the product. And you can achieve this when you build communities of users around your product. And this is what normally we refer to as an ecosystem. So this is exactly what these guys are doing.
We have thousands of customer submitted photos through our Instagram. We post stories of people who, we call them tattoo tours.
How many followers on Insta?
90,000.
That's
And they're
it?
all organic.
No, that's not bad. You guys are the real tattoos of Instagram.
Right,
Okay, content creation.
right.
How much do you spend on that monthly?
So last month we spent around $85,000 in marketing.
So you did $300,000 last month.
Yes.
How much did you make?
So last month, our net's sitting around 20% net profit margins. And
So
then
you
around
made about 60 grand last month. And I get that you're reinvesting it, but I
Yes.
just wanted to-
But one question, I don't, and we may have gotten to this already. Selom, are you working on this full time?
So sadly, neither of us are full-time yet.
Got it.
That's
All
not
right.
sad. I mean,
No.
So with
There's
me,
no need for
Yeah,
you to
look
be
what you're
full-time.
generating.
I know,
and
yeah,
that-
but
and you're
this
just
is one of my
moonlighting
questions.
it.
What do you think you're going to gross this year?
So you also realize, I mentioned this earlier, that being honest and being transparent is key. So you realize that these guys are able to make what seems like an outstanding revenue, and their net margins are quite good, but they are not doing this full time. And so it's kind of reinforces the general acceptance of the gig economy, where people have full-time jobs and are doing some form of side gigs. And in this case, they seem to be doing it quite well. So it's okay if you have an idea and you're not currently working on it full-time. It's fine. It's okay. Just make sure, like I said, you know your numbers. Make sure that you go beyond the product to sell the story, and just put in the hard work. And I'm sure that with time, you would be able to do that full-time. So it's perfectly fine.
Off of one product, we're expecting to sell $3 million this year.
How much did you invest in the business in the beginning?
We started with $300 each, and we were lucky enough to be profitable from month one.
Wow. That's
So-
really amazing.
Guys, let me tell you what I think about this. I'm not sure I agree with your 10 valuation, but I'm not going to fight you about it, because I'm going to restructure this in my way. You don't have to do it. But the way I look
I think I know
at
it's coming.
I'll tell you what I would do.
Mr. Wonderful.
$500,000 is a venture debt deal, okay? I'm going to charge you 9.75%, the average of what I'm doing venture debt at, and I'll take 5% equity, and I will get behind it as a educator of tattoos.
Thank you for the offer, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
I have a lot of respect for you dudes. You're not even full-time yet, and you're killing it.
Thank you.
Hey guys, you really won my respect. You seem to do everything right. What I really, really liked, and I think is pure genius.
when you are looking for funding, there are essentially two major categories of funding opportunities. So there's what we call debt financing, and then there's also what we call the equity financing. So you'd realize that in the Shark Tank, a lot of the entrepreneurs who come in are looking for equity. So what that means is that you get some form of investment from an investor, and the investor gets a part or portion of the company by way of shares. So they get some equity in the company. And with debt financing, this is where you are looking at interest. So it's basically a loan with an interest. And in the Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful is known for always trying to structure some form of debt financing deal so that he is able to get the entrepreneurs to pay him some royalties or some interest on the money he's going to give. I mean, there are instances where he kind of presents a hybrid where he has both the equity structure and the debt structure as well. So this is important, just to also mention.
What you call them, tattoo tours?
Right.
I see it as a marketing play. I'm sitting here thinking, what could I do for these guys? And honestly, I don't know what I could do. So for that reason alone, I'm out.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you, Barbara.
Here's my thought. I'm interested because I like you, but I just think you're doing it already, and I don't think that I could add any value to that, so I'm out.
Okay. Thank you, Damon.
Thank you, Damon.
Why are you here?
We want to be the premier and the face of tattoo aftercare.
But why are you here? What are you looking for?
We want an angel who's going to be, behind this vision and believes in our growth.
Okay, guys, I'll make you the offer. I like what you're doing. I'll give you the $500K, but I want 12%. And that's non-negotiable.
Thank you for your offer.
Thank you for your offer, Mark.
So you guys
Can we discuss?
Sure.
Could have done more.
Lori, do you have...
Are you crazy? What are you doing?
It seems that they kind of ignored Mark's offer and they were, trying to get to Lori. But I mean, it's always important to at least consider the offer in front of you. Either you would want to renegotiate, you want to decline the offer, or you want to accept the offer. So in some circles, it is considered as rude if an offer is made and you just ignore the offer without acknowledging the offer and either responding to that offer. So I think that is what might have happened here.
Lori, are you going to go in?
Mark, I know you said it's non-negotiable. Would you consider working with Lori with us?
No.
Now they are back to Mark. Just interesting.
Mark Cuban, you got a deal.
Thank you so much.
So I mean, I think that this episode has been quite interesting. For me, I try as much as possible to kind of pick what lessons are salient as entrepreneurs. Either you're a social entrepreneur or you're running a for-profit company. I think these guys did quite well in the Shark Tank, and I'm very sure they are going to succeed. And so I would wrap up today's episode. I do hope that I would do more of such reactions so we can pick a lesson or two from these elevator pitch that happens in the Shark Tank and of course on other platforms as well. You can also leave a comment in the comment section, and I would catch you in the next one.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with me.